All rise to the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Alvarez.
Present.
Councilman Larka.
Here.
Councilman Lord is absent. Councilman O'Connor.
Here.
Supervisor Hay.
Here. Okay, notation of the exits in the front and the rear in electronic device. Please put it on vibrate. We're going to start the meeting this evening with a presentation from NYSERDA's Clean Energy Communities Program and Eleanor Peck. I make a motion to go into the presentation.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, you're on.
Hello, thank you all for having me. Thank you Supervisor Hay for the opportunity to come. My name is Eleanor Peck and I work for Hudson Valley Regional Council as a Clean Energy Communities Coordinator. So I'm just going to give you a short overview of Hudson Valley Regional Council. We work with throughout the region on a variety of initiatives, as you can see here. And you can come to us for technical support on any of these initiatives. I'm here tonight to talk about the Clean Energy Communities Program from NYSERDA. This program provides flexible grant funding to, with no local cost share to communities across New York State. This is our 3 coordinators. There's 2 other people who do my job in the Mid-Hudson region. And we have free coordinator support, resources, and toolkits to assist you. And we can also assist with your grant applications and present to stakeholders like we're doing right now. So there are 635 communities that have participated in the program so far. It's been around since 2016. In 2021, they launched the leadership round of the Clean Energy Communities Program. So that's what I'll be talking to you about tonight. So this round, there are 17 million in grants for communities across the state. Each region, including the Mid-Hudson region, got 880,000 that's specific to them. And there's another 8 million statewide that all the communities across the state compete for. So there are 3 types of grants I'm going to talk to you about tonight that you could be eligible for. The first one is communities that complete 4 high-impact actions become a designated clean energy community, and they receive a $5,000 grant once they do that. Any community that completes 3,000 points gets a point-based grant or more. There's also 4,000 point grants and 5,000 point grants. And any community that adopts the New York Stretch Energy Code or completes community campaigns can access a $5,000 per action, so up to $25,000 per community. So right now, Southeast is not participating in this program, but I am about to show you how you can do that and what you would be eligible for. It takes a little while for this slide to load. But this sort of shows you what grants are available in the point-based grants. As you can see, you'll get a $10,000 grant once you reach 3,000 points. And there were higher level grants available, 4,000 point and 5,000 point grants, but those have basically disappeared in our region. They're going very quickly. But I expect there's still 26 left of the $10,000 grant, so there's plenty of time left for that. And then these are the action grants that are available that we just talked about. So for completing the New York Stretch Energy Code, there's 91 available statewide. And for community campaigns, I believe there's 74? Yes, 74 available statewide still. So now we'll talk about what the actual actions you can undertake to get those grants. This is a list of all of them. They're going to load. There's 24 of them, but only 13 show up here because some of them are nested underneath these. So whenever it says up to 1,000 points, something like that, that means there's multiple steps that you can get points for in each. So there's 24 total. And the gold are brand new in the leadership round, and the ones that are circled in blue have changed a bit since the original round. So there's been quite a significant change since 2016 when the program was introduced.
So a question, we have potentially have we're going to be putting in a solar farm, and then we just recently signed a contract with NYSEG to convert our streetlights to LED.
Wonderful.
Would those things, would we get credit for those?
Yeah, absolutely. The solar farm, it depends, and I can definitely talk to you all about that, but the LED streetlights, definitely. Those, and that's a real, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but they're a great thing to do, because it saves you a lot of money. So Southeast is eligible for almost all of these high impact actions. There are 2 you are not eligible for. PACE financing, because you're out, not a county or a town in Westchester, and benchmarking, because your population is too small. But all the other ones you are eligible for. And then now I'm going to just talk about a couple of the actions that I picked out to talk to you about in particular. First is energy code enforcement training. This is probably the simplest one, I think, to undertake. It's a free hands-on training for your code official to take. It's 8 hours. They get their in-service credit that they need to take from the state, and it gets you 200 points, which is great. And that's coming up in October. LED streetlights, we just talked about it. It's great, you guys are already on it, but you can reduce costs and maintenance costs and electricity costs. So it's really an important one to do. And the Unified Solar Permit, this is a permit that was created by NYSERDA. About 100 communities statewide have passed it. And the idea is it just reduces regulations around installing solar in Southeast. So you would make that your solar permit, and then it's the same permit as 100 different towns statewide, and it would make solar easier for the installer, for people who want to get solar on their roof, and for your code enforcement official, ideally. Community campaigns. These are, you can work with a volunteer group, or the town can undertake it itself, to provide consumers increased access to energy savings. So either by purchasing electric vehicles, signing them up for community solar, or clean heating and cooling technologies, or demand response. So there's a bunch of opportunities for community campaigns. Benchmarking. This is a tool from the EPA called Portfolio Manager, and the idea is you upload your energy use data to this website, and then you can track your building's energy use over time. And the idea is to sort of see where where you need to save energy costs, what buildings are really big energy hogs, so you can reduce your energy costs over time.
But we don't qualify for that one, right?
You do.
Oh yeah, I thought you said that
That
we
was
weren't paying
PACE
enough.
financing, I think, that you don't qualify for.
Okay.
Oh, benchmarking, right. No, it was. But you, so you qualify for tracking municipal buildings, but you don't qualify for the, what gets you a ton of points in benchmarking is for big cities, they can require large buildings like skyscrapers to benchmark.
Oh.
Like New York City has done that, so they get lots of points for that.
Got it.
But,
So we could benchmark our building.
Exactly, yes. And you would get 300 points for doing that. Clean fleets. Plug-in hybrid vehicles, or regular battery electric vehicles, or charging stations. If you have any electric vehicles in your fleet, if you want to purchase one, if you have some car needs coming up, you could do that and get some credit here. And same with installing charging stations. Close to the highway, this would be probably a great spot to have charging stations if you don't already.
Question, is it just restricted to EVs, or I know White Plains operates a hydrogen fleet, which is also a clean energy initiative. And they've been doing that for actually about 2 decades now.
Yeah, this one I believe is specific. I will get back to you all, but I'm 99% sure it's specific to plug-in hybrid or battery electric cars.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And last one is the New York Stretch Energy Code. So this is a code that developed by NYSERDA to, it goes beyond the base energy code, and it saves basically 11% more energy. It would reduce operating costs in future buildings built in Southeast, and reduce energy consumption. So this is a way basically to make the Stretch Energy Code the energy code for Southeast, and you'll get a special grant if you participate in that. So I'm just going to talk, I have 2 more slides about community campaigns, because there's 2 organizations that are helping communities, specifically in Putnam County, with these campaigns. The Clean Heating and Cooling for Putnam County, I've put the contact information for Bonnie Hagan. She's running this campaign. So she has funding to do that from NYSERDA, and she can help work with communities to run these campaigns in their communities. And same with Sustainable Putnam. They're running a Solarize campaign for community solar right now. And both Joe and Bonnie would be grateful and glad to talk with you about this if it's of interest. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention is one more slide. If you did all of these things, you would be eligible for $25,000 in grants. I know it looks like it's kind of a lot on that page, but really there's just a few steps. You've already got LED streetlights, and that would be a $10,000 grant for completing 3,000 points. You'd get two $5,000 grants, one for doing a community campaign and one for passing the New York Stretch Energy Code. And you would be designated a green energy community and get a $5,000 grant for that. And that is my presentation. So.
And for the community campaigns, you'd identify what we have to do for those campaigns?
Yes. So the idea for those is you have to show proof of municipal participation, so either a press release or a resolution from your town board, and then you would want to get 10 people to sign up. So 10 people to sign up for community solar, 10 people to purchase an electric vehicle, 10 people to do some sort of clean heating and cooling in their home. It's actually a little bit different for that one because only 3 people have to install new heating equipment that can also do energy efficiency projects. But you have to have 10 total projects, but only 3 of them have to be clean heating and cooling.
And when you say people, you mean residents, not the
Residents,
town
thank you.
itself?
Yeah, like households.
Right,
Yep.
okay. And if someone's done it recently, or is there any grandfathering?
No, so NYSERDA has to approve first you have to do a scoping document. So you would tell them what your plan is for the campaign, and I can send you a template for that. And I know Bonnie and Joe probably have templates that they can hand you that are pretty, cut and dry. Once NYSERDA approves your scoping document, then the timeline starts for when you would get those people to sign up.
Okay.
I know right now there's a project, I'm not sure how far we got into it, but there were going to be Tesla's charging stations right off of 6 and 202 in our town.
Yeah.
Would that somehow qualify us in any way?
So the charging stations have to be owned and operated by the municipality.
Okay.
So yeah, that would probably not count.
What are we doing that way?
So, okay.
Worth a shot.
Yeah, I know I've actually thought about our town fleet, so not for, say, our dump trucks, our plow trucks, that you're going to need, that would be a big transition for us, but some of the in-town vehicles that maybe our building department operates and the tax assessor that are just basically doing runabout in the town, maybe going with an electric vehicle for that would be probably a good initiative for us to pursue, I think.
Absolutely. So in addition to getting points in this program, New York State has grants that you can get for those vehicles if you choose to purchase one. And they also save, obviously, gasoline costs, but they would save maintenance costs over time as well. They're generally cheaper to operate over time. So I would highly recommend it, and I could also help direct you towards resources if you're interested.
Well, we'll have an interest and you can direct us. We'll go from there.
What was that?
I said, we'll have an interest and you
Great.
can direct us from there.
Yeah, excellent. I will be in touch.
Can you share this presentation with us?
Yes.
did.
I can
Oh,
do
you
that.
did? I didn't.
Well,
okay.
as far as
I'll let
print
I'll
it
send
out, do you want, yeah,
I'll send a PDF around.
Okay.
because
Yeah.
I think I just sent
I
you.
think, did I forward
Maybe you did, I didn't see it.
it? Okay.
I was writing other emails this week.
I have it, so I'll just forward it to everyone again tomorrow.
Sounds good. Any other questions?
No, thank you.
Yeah, thank you all for having me.
Any other questions for anyone?
No, I know, going, again, I've been talking about the cars a lot because I happened to get one very recently, but
Is yours
I
electric?
have a plug-in hybrid electric, so.
Your
but,
personal one?
Personal one, yeah.
Okay.
My wife's actually, so. One thing I noticed in doing the research on is already several auto manufacturers, such as Volkswagen, I think probably looking for amnesty from the diesel fiasco over a number of years ago. They have committed to all electric by 2025, which is only 4 years off. So if you see where the trend is going, Yeah, that was, I was surprised at that, but even talking to a couple of the dealerships, they say, yeah, this is the way things are going, so.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. And I hadn't heard 2025, but I know General Motors, Volvo, Ford, a bunch of them have made commitments for 2035. So you'd be a little bit ahead of the curve, but a lot of municipalities too. And I could put you in touch with other municipalities who do have electric vehicles in their fleet to talk about how it's working for them too. But yeah, a lot of municipalities are moving in this direction.
Okay,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you want to come up to the mic, quick?
I apologize, can you use the hand mic? That one's not connected right now.
No, let her talk on that one. Sorry, Kat.
Two things. Can you post this presentation on the website? And how many towns in the county have this program in place? Hey,
Right. I don't know the number of towns in Putnam who have it. 6 towns, right. No, Phillipstown is pretty active. Let's see, I've talked
Carmel, Kent,
to Kent a lot,
Patterson.
and Putnam Valley.
bless you.
And I am pretty new in this job. I just started 2.5 months ago, so I'm not a super expert on who we've talked to. But those 3 are definitely active. I've spoken to them, had meetings with them, and you all are the 4th Putnam County town that I've spoken to.
How about Putnam County itself?
My boss works with Putnam County, and I think she has done some work with them. I'm not entirely sure how much.
Okay.
I know you looked right at me when you said that. Yeah, I mean, I can answer that to a degree. So Putnam County, the Highway and Facilities Department and a few other of the agencies got together. They participated in the Article 9 program, which is, I believe it was a cost savings over 20 years, like some sort of bonding. I don't know the exact details, but anyway, it involved solar, it involved efficiency upgrades to the heating and cooling systems, the total building envelope in certain cases, depending on the type of building, and then the reduced energy costs over, especially off hours. So pretty much that's where the most of the savings comes from. Although you could probably speak to that as far as how it's at your job, but if you want to. But anyway, so a lot of effort went into it. I know they're still working on installing all the solar across the county, but they actually took a pretty big step forward in that direction with that.
Wonderful.
So
Nice.
yeah.
When you're done with that, Mike, you can just set it back over there in case we have to use it in a bit. Thank you.
I'm going to take the 5th on that. I'm not going to discuss that. But also, is there any county in New York State that you know of that has completely gone with this program?
Any county that has gone with it.
Totally, like every town village within the county has taken. No, but I'm thinking of a county.
I was going to say Westchester is the most active county in the state by far, and they make Arlington look the best in the state. Yeah, so definitely Westchester. I wouldn't say every single town because there's so many in Westchester, but
Right.
The vast majority of them are participating.
Well, that's great to hear. And that's why I came out tonight, to hear your presentation. So.
Not to see us?
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Uh-huh. No, turn it off and just leave it up there, so when the public gets to speak, you'll be up again?
No, I'm leaving.
Oh, come on.
Then you can shut it. He's
You're not
here.
going to stay for the rest of the meeting?
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate your efforts tonight. Oh, yeah, don't forget, you didn't even use it. It's $25 an hour no matter what. Had to make some money somehow.
Got it.
Okay. Okay. We'll move on. Thank you again. We'll be in touch.
Thank you.
There's nothing on the work session this evening. We'll go to the regular meeting. Make a motion to go into it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Waive the reading of the correspondence. Approval of the voucher list, $1,091,211.38. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Waive the readings of the budget transfers. Is there a second for that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
4, setting of meeting dates and public hearings. All meetings be held at 1360 Route 22, Brewster, New York, at 7 p.m. unless otherwise noted. Thursday, August 12th, 2021, and Thursday, August 26th, 2021. So moved for discussion.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, number 5 is a resolution, FWL Group LLC, 200 and 280 Fields Lane Establishment of Performance Bond. Now therefore be resolved that the bond amount shall be established for the project set forth below. Project name, FWL Group LLC, bond amount, site improvements, $639,000, erosion and sediment control, $39,000. And be further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution shall be transmitted by the town clerk to the planning board secretary and building inspector forthwith. So move for discussion.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Number 6, a resolution adjusting base proportions for real property tax assessment purposes. Now therefore be resolved that the town board of the town of Southeast accepts the recommendation of the town assessor and hereby authorizes the town clerk to sign and provide to the Office of Real Property Services Form RP 6703 for the town outside village and the town-wide homestead portion containing the adjusted base proportion of 62.061190% and 61.392331% respectively, pursuant to real property tax law and New York State rules and regulations in form and substance as may be approved by the town attorney. So move for discussion.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 7, resolution to support an application of the Town of Southeast Cultural Arts Coalition for Southeast Old Town Hall preservation, build an envelope and entry stair. Now therefore be resolved that the town board and the town of Southeast hereby endorses and supports the applications of the Town of Southeast Cultural Arts Coalition for grants under the Environmental Protection Fund for the following historic preservation projects: Southeast Old Town Hall preservation, build an envelope and entry stair. So move for discussion.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Number 8, a resolution for the library budget, voter proposition. The library is circulating a petition to an annual contribution going from $320, I believe, to $420. Now therefore be resolved that the town clerk is hereby authorized and directed to certify the following proposition to the Putnam County Board of Elections within the time required by law to be placed on the ballot for consideration of the electors of the town of Southeast at the next general election to be held on November 2nd, 2021. And it shall read, shall the annual contribution of the town of Southeast for the operating budget of the Brewster Public Library be the amount of $420,000 annually? And then, of course, when you go to poll, you say yay or nay. So move for discussion. Is there a second?
Second.
And discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Number 9, Dunmore International Corporation, 3633 Danbury Road, establishment of a performance bond. Now therefore be resolved that the bond amount shall be established for projects set forth below. Project name, Dunmore International Corp. Bond amount, site improvements, $18,300. Erosion and sediment controls, $4,100. And be further resolved that a certified copy of the resolution shall be transmitted by the town clerk to the planning board secretary and building inspector forthwith. So move for discussion.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I can't believe it's almost August, which means I start my budget very soon. We started off the year a little, no, actually, the year has been actually pretty good. We started off slow as far as getting things back after COVID. We were in full operation, of course, as a town with, the various programs, mask wearing, and things are opened up quite a bit. Recreation fees are back up there. Building department continued to move along pretty well during the COVID crisis. They're back into the full swing pretty much, and revenues are pretty good. The courts are back open, actually big time, full time. They've had day courts, they've had night courts. They're progressing pretty well. We've held our expenses, and revenues are in there, and we had a good budget, and actually we're holding to it. So we might have an even better budget for this year. So we'll be working a little bit extra hard to see what we can do for our residents this year. I know they've been working with us, been struggling, and we'll see what we can do for them. Anything? Comment?
Good to hear.
Okay, public? Town board?
Just want to bring up the fact that the Fairfield Drive project in Putt Lake, which was grossly affecting the northeast section of Southeast, the town of Southeast, is finally complete as of 2 days ago. They removed all the detour signage, so the residents of DeForest Corners, which is Welfare, Sherwood Hill, Gage Road, that area north of Milltown, and even Milltown Road, since that was a truck route, no longer have to deal with that hardship, I'd say. Now we're in the middle of the project at Sodom Road, so that's completely excavated, and it's going to be, again, projected date of closure for that is going to be finally finished around the beginning of November. So that's going to be a long time. Now, the good news was this project started and ended early. So we're, going to be cautiously optimistic that perhaps the same thing will happen with Sodom, because with, as I mentioned before, paving in November and closing up a street is kind of iffy at best, depending on the weather. So hopefully, we don't have that many issues, so.
Good. Just a reminder to the board, when you leave tonight, unplug your mics from the base here and not this base. I have to do it twice. And also, I'd like to thank Senator Peter Harkam. We applied for a grant. We're doing the culvert at Cobb Road. It's been a problem with the overflow of water into Peach Lake. Been dealing with it probably 2 or 3 years. We applied for a grant through his office, and he has awarded us $100,000 toward that project. If we actually replace the culvert, we're looking at other alternatives as well, and it's a $1.1 million project, so we have $100,000 toward that, and we'd like to thank him for getting us that money. We'll continue to apply for other grants as well. We've applied for, I think, approximately $1 million from another source, but we don't do too well with grants. We're just not poor enough, unfortunately. But we'll do our best to try to do it, and we'll be coming forward. As you know, there's a problem out on Cobb Road with the traffic being detoured through them. They saw some pretty horrific traffic jams on a very tiny road, and there was a tractor trailer that probably took up probably 3/4 of the road the other day, and it's not a good thing. So we'll be working on that in the next couple of weeks. And other than that, I think I'm good to go.
I'm good.
I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to close tonight's meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all for coming.